Right, guys. So, 2016. This is part three of my thoughts and a kind of summary because someone asked about my finances and kind of how I got here, and maybe maybe even want to know what my thoughts are to go forward from here. So, 2016, I called it on the UK. I said this place hasn't. The future's not looking that great here, and so I thought, like, I'm going to sell everything. So I did. I sold the house because I wasn't using it. I had this. I, I had this kind of. I decided I just wanted to work all over the UK, and it was good actually for the limited company and the tax and all that. It was good to be working away because you can. And because what I actually did was, instead of commuting in the northwest, which was getting like traffic was getting horrendous, and you usually have to travel about a bit, and there's some terrible places you have to go round here, like Manchester. I say round here, round the northwest, and I thought, well, if I get jobs in where nobody else wants them, outside the box, I said, if I try and get jobs, because I was being offered jobs in all these locations, out of town, and locations where they didn't really have a lot of labour and stuff like that, and my expertise. So I thought, well, I'll just go on the road, and that's what I did, and I got a caravan every year. It turned out, because I used to bring the caravans down here. That was another thing, outside the box. And I used to drive down every year then from. I'd already done it a few times then. I used to bring 4x4s down because I could bring a lot of stuff down with me, tools and bedding and anything that was cheaper in the UK. I used to fill a car. And then I discovered that you could sell caravans here and get good money for them as well. So I thought, well, I'll have a go at that. I'll work during the summer because I like the winters here. I like the snow and the cold weather because it's proper winter. It's not like dreary like the UK. It's a different winter there. They're gnarly. I call that gnarly weather, gnarly winters in the UK. This is proper Canadian type winters, not much wind. Anyway, so I used to love the winters here. I still do. I've got everything on my snow gear and my snow shovel, and I like digging out the snow every winter. But anyway, so that was it, the UK, and I thought, well, and Bulgaria. I thought, right, that's enough. I've got enough hassle here now to keep me going, and I don't need any more stuff here, and I don't need to. I'm not going to pump any more money in. And I was kind of. I thought, like, I'll call it quits here as well, and just keep the places watertight and do the minimum. Keep the land civilized and stuff like that, and do the minimum. Because I was a little bit burnt out then, and I was thinking, well, there's not much point in improving all these places in Bulgaria anymore, because there's no real plan to let them out or anything like that, or fill them up with furniture, or So I just decided, stop. You've got enough here for like a kind of retirement plan type of thing. And I sold the house in the UK, so that was all our expense in the UK out the way. And from 2016, to 19, I just lived in caravans, and then came here, and I could save a lot more money then as well during the summers there, because I was only just living in the caravan, and then with the caravan and the vehicle, which I would sell as well when it came here. It's all thinking outside the box. It's not for everyone, all this stuff. This is just a story of what I did, and anyone can do it. But I've ended up with, a fairly decent ending, if you ask me. Anyway, the end game, and so I kind of retired at 58, something like that. Pretty good. And I wasn't planning that. That happened because of the medical emergency, which kind of pushed me over here. I mean, I could see that coming as well. As soon as that was happening, I thought, let's get out of here, get out of Dodge. It's going to be a lot better in Bulgaria, and it was. Hardly anything happened here. He said it did, but they were pulling the wool. Nothing really happened around here. You had to wear masks in banks and probably the supermarket and stuff like that. In the local shops, you didn't really get anything like that. And that was about it. Apart from that, like when they say lockdown. How was there a lockdown? Everyone was out and about. They were doing what they always doing. And all you had to say is, hey, there's a lockdown. Why aren't you at home? Well, I'm going to shop. That's it. That was it. Nobody was locked down anyway. Maybe in the cities they had these things. And one thing that did happen was the hotels closed, and because they were getting compensated, that's why they closed. If they didn't close, they wouldn't get compensated, so they closed. So that was one thing that happened, and some, I think the schools as well. But that was they were supposed to do what the UK did online, but the UK never did it. The teachers there never got their act together. They did here. And they did teach online. So there's another thing. There. So not that much happened. So and I didn't want to go over there and take a chance. I could have carried on working in the construction industry, but I would have had to be tested and stuff for travelling about, and I really didn't want to do that. So I stayed here. And I never got any tests or anything, because I didn't really want to go through all that, and I didn't want to get trapped in a caravan in the UK in a lockdown or something like that, which could have happened. It probably wouldn't have done, but like it could have. And I think the caravan sites, a lot of them closed down. So I wouldn't have had anywhere to stay anyway. So the best thing to do, I just stayed here, and which worked out for the better, because I started selling the properties. I was going to do it a little bit later. I was going to do it around about now, which is 5 years down the line. But I started selling them during the lockdowns, which was good, because there was a lot of people coming back to Bulgaria to get out of the strict regimes elsewhere. And they made a choice as well that they didn't want to be in Western Europe anymore, because they could see it, the writing on the wall as well. And they came back here with all the skills and probably a bit of money. And a lot of them came back and stayed back. And maybe that was a factor why it's getting so much better here, you know. And a lot of people, no one was going the other way, leaving anymore, and they sort of discovered that actually it's getting better here. So that was another thing. So where I am today is 2017. After I decided to stop pumping money in here and stop and sell up in the UK. So I had then some money, and what I did then is I invested money that I had and that I earned from that point into digital assets, and that's all I'm going to say on that. That was 2017, and it went quite well, and I'm still pretty active in that kind of world, and I'm looking at probably some other things now. Quite interested. I mean, there was an opportunity this year actually, or the year before, was gold. It's gone up quite a lot, and I was gonna get into that, but like I was thinking all the time, well, I might, if anything happens here, which it could do. Things happen quite quickly, you know, in these day and age with the digital stuff and that, and you know, they might get heavy and they might change the rules here. I thought, if I buy gold, I can't move it. You can buy digital gold, which I'm looking at, but like that's where I am. So and the plan was always like, say, if I get here at like 60 and start selling properties and stuff to live on, and whatever savings I've got, some savings, because I'm not. This isn't how to get rich quick. This is a story of what you can do to not be in debt, to have a comfortable future, no stress. I'm not stressed out about finances or anything like that. Nothing like that. And so I've sold all them properties now, and this is the only one I've got. So that's where I am now. So that's less pressure, you know, at my age. And I was kind of, all that stuff that I was doing, I explained, it burns you out, you know. It does. Well, you get to a point where you just can't be bothered doing it anymore. That was one of the other things. There was no point. In the end, there was no further gains that I wanted to make, you know. So that's why I stopped in 2016 and get out of the UK, which is, that was becoming a hassle over there. I mean, everything costs so much now. Imagine working away now and trying to get bed and breakfast, and you look at the prices and you're like, and the fuel, it's just not doable. It's just ridiculous. It's become a ridiculous place, UK. It's as I explained before, it's the inflation's money printing, nothing else. If you study the fiat system, which is not what it's set out. It's not what it's made out to be. It's a debt-based system, and it's a cycle which ends up at zero. So that's what it is. They're the figures, and lots of fiat systems have gone through that cycle down the years, including from the Weimar Republic and which was Germany, and Albania, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, you name it. A lot of Cyprus, Turkey, at the moment. so almost at the end. It's a cycle. Look up Mark Moss and he'll explain it. Mark Moss. Anyway, so now what does the future hold? So the plan was start selling stuff at about 60. And my pension, I've got a full pension. I have paid my dues. I have done my bit. I'm not. So you can't say I'm running away from the UK because I put my heart and soul, 35 years into, and I paid all my taxes, never received any benefits, apart from a little bit of furlough, which is a pittance disaster. I never got the full furlough, disgraceful. But anyway, because I was self-employed and I was a director, so I got a pittance, ridiculous. So that's what the country gave to me, nothing. So after all that service, 35 years, and now I'll get a full pension, which at the moment, the figures here, I can easily live on here, easy. I've mentioned that so many times before. I live on half of what I'm going to get as a pension now. So even if things go up, which they will do in the next 5 years, well, it's 4 years and 6 months now till I get a pension. So all I needed was enough money to get to there. And then what a lot of people do after 67, say, is get the pension and supplement it with savings or investments. You know, that's all. I wouldn't even have to do that. Unless I wanted, like, upgrade my clothing and stuff like that, you know. And upgrade my car and stuff, which I'm not interested in either. So I might do a bit more travelling. Actually, I might go on more road trips. I like this kind of idea, what they call slow. Is it slow travelling? Where you stay in places for like maybe a month, 2 months, up to 6 months. I'd like to do that because I don't like going on the like very short, like holidays. I'm not interested in holidays. I'm interested in travelling and seeing real places, you know. Not holiday resorts. That's just to me. It's always been kind of ridiculous. Holiday resorts. All my holidays have been travelling, proper travel, which is what we're going to do later on today. For the next 7-8 days. And the future, I've got plan C's. Well, one of them is what I've just said, travelling, and financially, that's all I need now to do. Now, what I'm looking at now is because when you're not getting any kind of younger, is I'm looking at some kind of getting into the healthcare system here, which I should have done really in the last few years. But I didn't want to be hijacked in some hospital. They might say, come in for a medical, and then, you know, oh, we'll have to test you, and you know what I mean? We have to run some tests. Oh my God, you've got the pox, or you got this or that. Next minute, you're in an oxygen bank. No. And that's why I don't go near any hospitals, any doctors, or anything like that. They're waiting for you, like that, and they'll test you. Oh yeah, we'll just test you. Oh my God, you've got this, that, the other. You've got to take all these tablets, and I'd rather just die naturally half the time. But that's how I see hospitals. They're waiting for you, unless you break all your bones and you've got to get fixed up. I'd keep away from those places because that's what they do. They hijack a lot of people when they go in there. find out what's wrong. They diagnose them. A lot of illnesses are just that, these tests and diagnostics, which I don't think a lot of them exist. That's the farmer. That's the farmer racket. Anyway, that's another story. So that's a financial thing, and all done. That was all done on just a normal, well, a decent wage. That's all it was, and it was just taking opportunities, and the biggest ones were property going up, but you've got to get out at the right time, and the big one was the exchange rate between two countries and the cost of living between two countries, which is also going to be a benefit when I get a pension, if I ever reach that time. I hope so, but that's just life. But that's the other one. Anyone coming up to a pension, if you're staying in the UK, you must be mad. If unless you've got a load of money to back it up, But if you're coming up to a pension and you've got a bit of equity in a property or something, get out. It's like a night and day. You don't do anything differently here except probably have a quieter life without any hooligans running around. And you can, if you can get in some of the places here, you can get care if you need it, and if you've got the money. But the UK, I wouldn't stay there for the big clock. Okay, cheers.